Chosen one, stay close. Don't scroll away. Something is happening in the unseen. And if you knew the weight of it, you'd fall silent and lean in. If your spirit feels a quiet pull right now, that is not your imagination. That is the Holy Spirit tugging on your heart. Heaven has leaned in, and this moment has been set apart for you. Right now, in conversations never meant to reach your ears, your name is being spoken not with malice, but with wonder. Someone you'd least expect has been watching you. But before they ever noticed you, God did. He saw your tears, your lonely victories, and the way you chose purity over performance when no one was clapping. They've been noticing the way you walk with quiet confidence, the way your smile softens a room, the light that dances in your eyes when joy touches your soul. They've seen how you carry yourself not loudly, but with a peace that speaks louder than noise. You may feel ordinary, but in the spirit you are radiant, and they're not the only one. Others have started noticing you. It started as quiet admiration, but now it's becoming a confession. Your name keeps slipping from their mouth and they don't even realize it. Their friends are starting to ask, why does your name keep coming up? Last night your name came up again. But this time, it wasn't just about how you look. It was about how you make them feel. They said your presence lives rent-free in their mind, that your confidence is dangerous, that your silence speaks louder than 1,000 words, that when you walk into a room, something shifts in the atmosphere. That's not attraction, that's revelation. This is more than attention, it's a divine interruption. God is using what they see on the outside to point to what He has placed on the inside. What began as curiosity in their eyes is really confirmation from heaven. You've been radiating something holy without even trying. The colors you wear, the way you fix your hair, the way you hold your peace. Even in storms, it's been speaking into hearts that didn't know they were listening. You are standing at the edge of a new season, even if your surroundings still look the same. And make no mistake, this isn't about vanity. It's about value. It's about God vindicating the parts of you that were once misunderstood, mocked, or minimized. He is showing you that what was once rejected is now becoming a reference point for others. The Spirit of the Lord has set you apart. You've been clothed in grace, crowned with quiet power, and chosen with divine purpose. You carry more than charm. You carry calling. You shift atmospheres because the Spirit walks with you. This is not just a story about someone talking about you. It is a story about God revealing who you truly are. Now, as you step forward into this divine role, I invite you to declare your readiness. Type amen in the comments below as a bold statement that you are ready to walk in your God-given identity. We are not here to chase compliments. We are here to agree with what heaven already knows about you. Stay with me until the end, because we'll be closing with a powerful prayer that will break chains, restore clarity, and activate the next level of your calling. This is your moment. Don't miss it. Breathe. Chosen one, you are seen, you are safe, and you are right on time. Chosen one, stay right here. Do not let your mind wander or your heart drift, because what is unfolding around you carries more weight than you realize. There is a story being written in silence, shaping itself behind closed doors and unspoken thoughts. And if you saw the fullness of it, you would understand why the Spirit of the Lord has pressed you to stop in this very moment. Someone who once dismissed you is now captivated by you. And the shift within them is not small. It is seismic. It is unexpected. It is the kind of transformation only grace can spark. This person did not always see your worth. In the beginning, they judged you. They mocked the very traits that now hold them spellbound. The uniqueness they once criticized has become the very thing their soul chases. They used to roll their eyes at your shine, yet now they try to imitate it quietly, hoping no one notices how much they've changed. Life has a way of turning the mirror, revealing truth in places where denial once stood. And now they fear that if you ever discover how deeply they've been watching you, the image they project to others will crumble. Chosen one, something happened recently. A small moment in your day, so simple you probably forgot it, but for them it replayed in their mind through the night. They watched you do something effortless, and in that ordinary action, something extraordinary awakened inside them. Since then, they have not been able to stop thinking about you. Even when they try to steer the conversation away, your name circles back like a tide they cannot escape. And though you might feel invisible at times, someone is noticing more than you could possibly imagine. They observe the grace you carry even in silence, the balance of humility and strength in your posture. They said watching you is like watching light walk through chaos, and they cannot explain why they are drawn to it. Only that they are wrestling with feelings they never intended to have. And those whispers hiding in the corners of their mind are beginning to grow louder. Soon, chosen one, those whispers will turn into something real, something spoken. And when truth finally surfaces, it will surprise everyone, including you. Do not move. This is not merely attraction. This is realization. They have begun to understand that they misjudged you from the beginning. What they mistook for arrogance was actually grace clothed in stillness. And the way you held your peace when you could have defended yourself made them respect you more than they will ever admit out loud. That kind of restraint is rare, and it stirred something deep inside them, something that feels a lot like conviction wrapped in admiration. Let this sink in, because this person is preparing to approach you. On the surface, it may seem like a casual conversation. They may mask it behind small talk or a passing question. But beneath that smile lies a confession waiting to break free. They want to tell you that the way you've grown, or maybe the way you never lost your sense of self, has touched something sacred in them. They want to admit that your presence, your energy, your stillness has become the quiet anchor they did not know they needed. Do not skip this part. Someone's heart is at war with their pride. They are afraid that if they confess how they feel, the truth will expose how long they've been thinking about you, long before they ever admitted it to themselves. Without realizing it, they've begun to echo your rhythm, softening their tone, choosing stillness over noise, dressing not to impress, but to belong. They are aligning themselves with your light because something in them senses that your path is blessed. And chosen one, stay with me until the very end, because what is coming will reveal everything. Someone close to them already suspects the truth and may accidentally reveal more than they intend. When that happens, the person who once gossiped about you will have to face the reality that it was never judgment. It was love hidden beneath uncertainty, affection disguised as criticism, admiration wrapped in denial. Do not scroll every step you've taken lately, every small victory, every smile you've allowed yourself to feel. These moments have fueled someone's emotions quietly. You have inspired them, you have intimidated them, you have enchanted them. And now their feelings are reaching a breaking point where they can no longer be hidden behind casual words or forced indifference. Chosen one, stay here. Something sacred is unfolding. Someone who once looked past you is now losing sleep over what they failed to see sooner. They replay the way your clothes told stories without a single word. They remember how your presence filled the room with peace. They thought they were ignoring you, but now they see they were memorizing you. They held on to fragments of every encounter without even realizing it. Do not move. This is no longer admiration from a distance. This is confession rising to the edge of their lips. Someone is standing in the tension of revelation and fear, afraid that the moment they speak, the truth will spill out completely. Their heart races whenever your name rises in conversation. Their pulse betrays them every time someone mentions you. Those who once rolled their eyes now mirror your walk without realizing it. They used to reject what they couldn't define. Now they try to emulate it in silence. They copy the tones you wear, the calmness in your walk, the strength in your eyes. It is almost ironic. The very qualities they laughed at are the ones they now try to embody. They used to tell others you were too much, yet now they cannot get enough of your presence. They whisper now, not of your glow, but of the way the room exhales when you enter. Your calm is no longer dismissed, it is studied. Your presence bends the atmosphere like worship. They speak your name softer now, as though protecting it. Their tone has shifted from dismissive to mesmerized, and people around them have noticed they are not as discreet as they think. Chosen one, they think of you at random hours. They replay your gestures, your voice, your stillness. They are beginning to understand that what they once called curiosity was actually affection. Wearing unfamiliar clothes, a story is forming between glances, pauses, and words left unsent. They tried to pull away, but every attempt led them back to you. Even their dreams echo your name now. And soon the truth will slip out, not through a grand confession, but through a subtle moment they cannot control. Maybe a glance too lingering, maybe a sentence spoken without thinking. And when it happens, they will realize they can no longer hide behind pretense. People around them already see it. They ask, why do you keep bringing that person up? And they cannot answer without revealing everything. Your presence is living in their mind, and their denial grows heavier with each passing day. Chosen one, they are at the breaking point, torn between pride and truth, fear and longing. Every time they see you shine, they battle the urge to speak. But fear of vulnerability, fear of being exposed for caring too deeply, keeps pulling them back. Yet their heart is moving forward, and soon, chosen one, their truth will follow. Destiny has been quietly working behind the scenes, and now the veil is lifting. Something is shifting in the hearts of those around you. Someone who once overlooked you, misunderstood you, or even mocked you, is now facing the truth they can't outrun, because the heart will always betray what the lips try to deny. At first, they dismissed you. They rolled their eyes at your confidence, whispered their opinions in corners, criticized your choices, all while secretly taking notes. But now, something has changed, something holy. What began as gossip has turned into fascination. What started as sarcasm faded, replaced by quiet awe. They find themselves drawn to your presence in ways they can't explain, and soon it will show. Pause, there's more. Because there's a moment coming, a moment no one will expect. Maybe a message, maybe a glance, maybe a divine crossing of paths. But when it happens, you'll feel it in your spirit like a sudden stillness before a storm. A quiet calm followed by a pulse that's not your own. And in that instant, you'll know their energy just collided with yours. From that day on, they won't be able to speak about you the same way. Their voice will change. Their words will slow down. And the people who once heard them speak against you will now hear them speak for you, because the truth has risen through the cracks of pride, and it's rewriting everything. This is not about revenge. It's about revelation. They judged what they didn't understand. But now understanding is blooming like a seed that's been buried too long. What once blinded them was never ego. It was the brilliance of someone forged in silence and refined by fire. The way you moved in silence, the way you didn't clap back, the way you kept your peace, it left an impression no insult could erase. Don't move because heaven has eyes. What they thought went unnoticed has been recorded in the spirit. Every whisper sent your way carried weight. And now those whispers are circling back, not with hatred, but with a strange mixture of admiration and guilt. Their conscience has become a mirror, and what they see is the reflection of someone they tried to ignore, but now can't forget. They're haunted not by what you did, but by how you made them feel. Your strength, your stillness, your joy. Your presence doesn't just enter a room, It settles, it speaks without saying a word. And now they begun to witness your becoming in quiet awe. What you wear, how you speak, the way you stay grounded in chaos. They told someone there's something different about them. They just glow. And in that room, the tone shifted because even those who doubted you felt it too. The same voice that once criticized your style now calls it powerful. The one that questioned your calm now craves your peace. And those who laughed when you walked away are now watching the door, hoping you'll return. But this story is no longer about them watching. It's about you rising. They've changed something, subtle but real. Maybe the way they dress, maybe the way they speak. A new cologne, a quieter voice, a shift in energy. Someone asked them why the sudden shift and they laughed it off. But deep down they know it's because your presence rewrote their reflection. They brushed it off with a joke when someone asked, but you and I both know it's because of you. They're trying to feel again what they once rejected. You left an imprint on their spirit and it's not fading. And somewhere in the private gallery of their phone, there's something sacred, a photo, a message, a memory. It could be a text they never deleted, a picture they never showed, a screenshot of your smile. It's their silent altar of what they're afraid to admit. It's their doorway back to you, their secret altar where pride bows to regret. Let this sink in because soon silence will break. A message is coming, unexpected, casual in tone, but heavy with truth. How have you been? They'll ask. But behind that question is a flood of feelings too big to name. A pause, a breath, a hesitation. Every second will scream what words won't say. They're finally realizing what the Spirit has known all along. What they said behind your back wasn't hatred. It was hunger. It was longing. It was confusion dressed as sarcasm. And now they're ready to face it. The same mouth that once ridiculed you will now speak with care. The tone will change. Their posture will shift because God has a way of humbling the proud and lifting the misjudged. Watch closely, chosen one. The energy around you is changing. People are shifting. Conversations are quieting when you walk in. Not out of avoidance, but reverence. The ones who used to whisper now fall silent in your presence. Not because they forgot what they said, but because they remember too well. And it doesn't sit right anymore. Because they know now, you were never the one to mock. You were the one marked. Your peace has become their pursuit. Your stillness, their confusion. Your glow, their reminder of what they lack. And even though they pretend otherwise, their eyes tell the truth. They watch you. They listen for your name. They talk about you in ways they can't control. And their friends are starting to notice. You talk about them like they're part of your story, someone said. And they laughed, but deep down, they knew it's true. Another friend half joked, you talk like you're in love. They smiled, but the silence after said everything. Because you are part of their story. Maybe not how they expected, but certainly how heaven ordained. There's something sacred in the way you move now. Like you know who you are. Like you've made peace with your past and stepped into your assignment. That's why they stare. That's why they stutter. Because you are no longer just a name to them. You are a standard. And they're fighting it, but losing slowly. Every time they see you, something in them softens. The wall begins to fall. The mask slips. And what's been hidden behind sarcasm and deflection starts to shine through. Remain where you are, because the one who once ridiculed your presence is now drawn to the divine warmth you carry. The one who once whispered your name in dismissal now holds it like it's sacred. And the ones who once stepped over your presence now stand in awe beneath it, hoping some of it might touch them too. This is not just attention. This is redemption in motion. And soon, every conversation that once carried judgment will carry honor. Every look that once held criticism will now reflect admiration, because what they saw as too much was heaven's signature on your life. And now they see it, they feel it, they want it, but they can't replicate it. You were never crafted to disappear. You were carved to carry glory, to stand apart, not above, but ahead. And now the ones who once looked down on you are looking up. Not because you changed to fit their expectations, but because you stayed true to who God called you to be. Chosen one, don't shrink back. Don't water down your fire. The same people who doubted your strength are now tasting the fruit of your obedience. And they know you weren't just another name in the crowd. You were the one they were meant to notice all along. Chosen one, do not scroll. There's something sacred happening right now in places you cannot see, behind lips that once spoke carelessly, and in the hearts that once looked away. Someone who judged you before is now watching in silence, not with malice, but with awe. What used to confuse them about you has now become the very thing they admire, and they don't know what to do with it. It's not about your clothes anymore. It's not about your success, your voice, or even your walk. It's something deeper. It's your confidence, the aura you carry, that divine weight in your presence that says, I know who I am because I know who sent me. They're noticing now and they can't unsee it. The same person who once tried to make you feel small now finds themselves shrinking beside your quiet strength. They mistook your grace for pride, your quiet resolve for detachment, your glow for show. But now they realize it was wisdom. It was spiritual authority wrapped in stillness. Stay with me, because what's coming next is not random. It's been divinely arranged. A moment is coming, a familiar street, a crowded room, or a quiet aisle where you'll cross paths again. But this time, the air will shift, time will slow. And in that breathless pause, every unsaid word they buried will rise like incense in the silence. They'll try to look away, but their eyes will betray them, because that look will hold more truth than all their past conversations combined. That look will say, I've carried your name in my heart longer than I ever had the courage to admit. And in that holy second, even if not a word is spoken, you'll know. You'll feel it in your spirit. This is the season where the hidden becomes revealed. Destiny has been preparing this moment. Every time they spoke your name behind closed doors, every time they denied the stirring in their spirit, it was building to this. Even fate seems tired of their silence. And now it's pushing truth to the surface. Don't call it coincidence. These little things you're noticing, that random message, that awkward pause in conversation when your name is mentioned, that glance that lingers just a second too long, it's not accident, it's confirmation. Because when the heart refuses to speak, the universe begins to testify. Someone is realizing you weren't just a face in the crowd. You were peace, you were presence, you were what their soul needed but didn't recognize. And now they're standing on the edge of confession, trembling under the weight of what they never said. They're acting like nothing has changed. But listen closer. Their silence sounds different now. It's heavier. It carries tension. When you're near, their breath catches not from fear, but from the pressure of suppressed emotion. And when you walk away, they try to hide it, but their body speaks louder than their silence. A shifting glance, a fumbled word, a moment of stillness that screams everything they never dared to say. Pause, there's more. Because the one who once whispered behind your back is about to speak to your face with trembling hands and humble tone, and their words will sound like truth finally finding its voice. You see, beloved, this isn't about vindication, this is about revelation. God is revealing to them what He already knew about you. That your peace carries power, that your stillness is strength, that your identity was never built on their validation. That's why your light kept shining even when they didn't understand it. Lately, your name doesn't need to be spoken. It simply lingers in the air. When you're mentioned, the room shifts, their expressions falter, and everyone senses something sacred has entered the conversation. It's not sharp, it's soft, reverent, like someone remembering a sacred moment. They've been replaying that one time you passed by and your presence spoke louder than words. They tried to forget, but they can't because your energy has marked them. Someone asked them recently, why do you keep bringing them up? And for the first time, they didn't laugh it off. They paused, looked down and whispered, "Because they make me feel something I can't explain." That's when the room went silent. Because even those who used to laugh with them felt the shift. They're noticing how you've changed, or maybe how you haven't. While the world spun in chaos, you stayed grounded. While others adjusted themselves to be seen, you stood still and let heaven reveal you. And now they can't deny it, even if they try. They've begun to defend you in places where they used to speak against you, and they don't even realize why. But their heart does. Their heart knows that hearing your name spoken carelessly doesn't sit right anymore. Not when you've become the very peace they long for. Even those who once ignored you feel it now. They're drawn to your light, not because it blinds, but because it illuminates. You've become a mirror to their soul. Your strength is quiet but sacred. And that kind of strength cannot be manufactured. It must be born of fire, forged in silence and breathed into existence by God Himself. They used to joke about your stillness, now they wish they had it. They used to dismiss your calm, now they call it divine. You stayed grounded when they scattered. You stayed kind when they turned cold. You chose silence when you could have retaliated. And that restraint has become your greatest witness. Someone close to them noticed it too. They told them, "You've been quieter lately, distracted, lost in thought." And they're right, because your memory has become a conversation they have with themselves over and over again. Their heart is in conflict, torn between pride and longing, between keeping quiet and finally speaking what's been hidden too long. And soon, chosen one, you'll witness what God has already seen. A small moment is coming, a seemingly ordinary encounter that heaven has been orchestrating in the background. And when it happens, their eyes will speak first. Before the mouth finds words, the gaze will confess. They will look at you differently, not with judgment, but with recognition. The realization that you were never just someone. You were peace before their storm. You were light in their shadow. And being in your presence again will humble them, not out of shame, but out of reverence. Their words may fumble, their heart may race, but everything they buried is rising now. What was once just admiration has become something sacred, something unspoken but undeniable. Even after you walk away, your presence will linger in their thoughts, in their memory, in the air, like a fragrance they can't name but can't ignore. That's when they'll understand. They weren't just talking about you. They were drawn to you. You've turned their judgment into admiration, their mockery into curiosity, their pride into quiet pursuit. This is not coincidence. It is grace in motion. Heaven never needs to announce itself, and neither did you. Your presence has started a quiet revolution in places you'll never see. And those who once misunderstood your silence are now studying it like scripture. Don't move. Someone is praying for one more chance to make it right to say the words they once buried, because now they know you were never the problem. You were the lesson, the light, the reminder. And they are hoping, just hoping, that God gives them one more moment to say it out loud. Stay here, because what's unfolding isn't gossip, it's revelation, and it's about to change everything. Conversations that were once hidden in corners are now carrying weight in the open. And what they're saying, it's not gossip, it's not curiosity, it's confession wrapped in admiration, covered in awe. They speak about you differently now. They don't just describe how you look. They talk about the calm in your eyes, the confidence in your voice, the quiet authority in your presence. They're finally realizing what others never saw. Your beauty was never loud. It was holy, timeless, rooted in a kind of peace the world doesn't understand. Stay here, because last night your memory was spoken into the room again. And the voice that spoke it trembled. They said, "There's something about them I can't shake off." And everyone listening knew they weren't just intrigued. They were attached, caught in the gravity of what they once overlooked. Their friends are starting to tease them now. You talk about them like you're in love. They laugh, but the silence after the laugh says more than words ever could. Because when the heart starts speaking louder than pride, it sounds exactly like that half laughter, half confession. Don't scroll. They've been tracing your presence without even realizing it, but not to criticize this time. No, they're trying to study you, trying to understand how you stay so composed when everything around you shifts, how your peace doesn't break under pressure, how your presence stays anchored when the storm hits. Even the people who didn't like you at first have started changing their minds quietly, softly. Their language has shifted. I misread them. They're saying they weren't arrogant, they were sure of who they are. And that realization is silencing every voice that once rose up against you. Stay with me, because this isn't just about admiration. This is reflection. They're measuring themselves against you now, wondering how you've managed to align your energy so completely. They've come to see it's not the clothes, not the posture, not even the tone, it's the essence. You move like you're in rhythm with something eternal. That's what disturbs them. That's what draws them. You're consistent in a world full of pretenders, and now they've begun mimicking you. Little things, the way you speak, the way you stand, even your color choices. What they don't realize is you can borrow someone's habits, but you cannot borrow their anointing. You cannot copy essence. And that's what you carry. Something heaven breathed, something real. Don't move. Recently, someone brought you up in a room unexpectedly, and everything shifted. They froze, couldn't find the right words. Their eyes gave them away. And everyone there felt it, like time paused, like the truth was leaning in. Destiny is no longer waiting, it's moving, arranging moments they can't escape. That meeting, that glance across the room, that sudden ruin, it won't be coincidence. It'll be divine alignment. And when it happens, every emotion they've locked inside will rise like a wave they can't hold back. They'll try to stay casual, but you'll feel it. Their energy will tremble, their voice will catch. And in that hesitation, you'll hear everything they never had the courage to say. That isn't nervousness. It's the sound of realization. They've been holding on to a moment, maybe the last time they saw you, maybe something you said, a gesture, a smile, a sentence, and it's been replaying in their spirit like a song they can't silence. And somewhere deep down they know they were never meant to forget you. You were not accidental, you were appointed. Someone's finally realizing that your presence was a gift, not a coincidence. And they didn't recognize the weight of it until it was gone. Now the absence feels like gravity. The further they run from the memory, the heavier it becomes. That's what conviction sounds like. It doesn't yell, it lingers. Soon they'll reach out, not with polished words, but with trembling honesty. It might come as a simple message, a casual moment, but behind it will be everything they never said: regret, reverence, and raw truth. Not to impress, but to confess. You've become more than someone they used to talk about. You've become their mirror, a reflection of authenticity, a reminder that real doesn't have to shout, that confidence doesn't have to compete. You've shown them without trying that peace is the loudest power of all. And now they crave that peace more than they crave attention. The same people who once chased applause are now chasing what you carry. Stillness with substance, presence with purpose, alignment with assignment. Don't skip this. You didn't confront them, you didn't clap back. You didn't try to prove anything, but your existence turned their perspective upside down. That's what grace does. It doesn't demand, it transforms. My beloved, stay right here, because what's coming next will shift everything. The whispers are now echoes. The laughter has turned into reverence. Someone who once questioned your glow is now chasing it. Someone who once spoke your name carelessly now speaks it with caution. They say you walk into a room like you belong there, like the room was waiting for you. And now they can't shake the feeling that you were the unfinished story in their life, and they're desperate for the next chapter. Their words have changed. Their tone has softened. What was once confusion is now awe. There's just something about them, they say, I can't explain it, but it stays with me. They're noticing everything now. The way you speak gently, the way you smile quietly, the warmth you leave behind, and they wrestling with the question, how does someone stay so grounded in a world so chaotic? The answer won't let them go. It's because you're real. Real in a world full of roles. Real in a time full of noise. They can't deny it anymore. The pull, the wonder, the awareness. Even when they change the subject, your name slips back in. And every time it does, their pulse rises. Their thoughts scatter. Their soul stirs. Because this isn't surface level anymore. This is emotional gravity. They're drawn to your mystery, to your grace, to the way you say more with silence than others say with speeches. Recently, they saw you, maybe from afar, maybe online, and it hit them harder than they expected. That image of you stayed with them, calmer, stronger, elevated, and they couldn't explain why it hurt. But now they do. They've realized you've outgrown the version of you they once knew. And with every step you take forward, they feel the distance grow. That's what scares them. Because now they know losing access to you wasn't just losing a person, it was losing clarity, losing light. They're pretending it doesn't matter, acting like they're unaffected. But when your name is spoken, they freeze, eyes shift, room changes. That's not apathy. That's emotion boiling beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to spill. And you'll know it when it happens. It'll be in the way they linger. The message that comes out of nowhere. The question that sounds random but carries weight. That's how you'll know they've reached their breaking point. Remain where you are, because that moment is closer than you think. And when it comes, it won't just change how they see you. It'll reveal how heaven always saw you. Set apart, steady, radiant in a world full of noise. And this time, they'll finally admit it out loud. There's just something about them. I don't know what it is, but I can't let it go. The silence is breaking, but not with noise. It's breaking with truth. And the truth is this. Someone is carrying a weight they never expected. Not guilt from your actions, but regret from their own. They remember the moments when kindness was an option and they chose silence instead. They remember every sideways glance, every dismissive word, every opportunity to uplift that was traded for indifference. And now those decisions echo behind them like footsteps they can't outrun. Regret has become their shadow. Every time they see someone who reminds them of you, even slightly, they freeze because no one else carries your fire. That calm, holy fire, that quiet confidence that doesn't boast but commands respect. You became the standard and you weren't even trying to be. Don't move because something sacred is happening. They've started comparing everyone to you without realizing it. The way people walk, speak, dress, even the way they carry their energy. But nothing aligns. No one matches your presence. And that's what's unsettling them. You were once just a thought. Now you're the voice behind every restless night. Let this sink in. Because the moment of truth is drawing near. It won't be loud. It won't be staged. It'll slip a quick word, a message sent too fast, an emotion they didn't mean to show. And when it happens, the truth they buried will surface. Suddenly, all the strange conversations, all the odd silences, all the things they said behind closed doors will click into place. You'll see it in their eyes, the shift, the softness, the tension behind the smile. That's not coincidence. That's someone wrestling with conviction. That's someone realizing their opinion of you was never rooted in truth, but in their own unhealed places. Don't skip, because now even the ones who whispered are searching for a way to re-enter your atmosphere. They feel the pull. They're drawn to your stillness, to your grace, to the unspoken authority in how you carry yourself. They want another chance not just to speak to you, but to stand beside you, because what began as conversation has turned into divine connection. And destiny isn't finished yet. My beloved, stay right here, because there's a shift happening in rooms you haven't even entered. You've become the topic of conversation, not for drama, but for awe. Your name carries presence now. You walk differently. You speak with clarity. Your energy commands peace. And even those who doubted you at first, they can't look away anymore. That same person who used to minimize your light now sits in silence, wondering how you became so powerful without ever having to raise your voice. They talk about your clothes, but it's not about fashion. It's about how your choices preach. They say there's something about them. They make simplicity look like royalty. But behind that compliment is something deeper. They are fascinated and they don't understand why. They notice everything. The way you stand, the colors you choose, the way you nod when others are shouting. You've become the rhythm of their thoughts, the face they see when they close their eyes. And they didn't mean for it to happen, but now they're caught in it. Recently, they tried to describe you to someone else, and their voice cracked, not because of love, but because of respect and regret. They said, I used to think they were showing off, but now I see it was just self-worth. And that line changed the air in the room. Even people who didn't know you asked, who were they talking about? Your name, once tossed around casually, now lands heavy. Now it carries weight. You've become the silent blueprint of what healing looks like. The way you walk, the way you breathe. It's not loud, but it lingers. It's not flashy, but it shines. You've become unforgettable, not because of what you said, but because of who you've become. The one who once laughed behind your back is now trying to understand your silence. They realize now it wasn't the clothing, it wasn't the speech, it was the anointing. And that realization, it's shaking their pride from the inside out. They don't laugh anymore. Now they pause, studying your every move like it holds answers they've been searching for. But what they don't see is that your glow came from pain they never saw, from storms you walked through alone. That radiance, it was forged in prayer, in loss, in lonely obedience. It cannot be copied. They talk about you differently now, not like gossip, but like gospel. Someone said, I wish I had their calm. I wish I could move through life the way they do. That statement alone, that was a confession. You've gone from being the subject of stories to the source of strength. Don't move, because they know now you're untouchable. You've graduated past explanations, past defending yourself, past needing to prove anything. Your silence is your answer. Your peace is your defense. Your glow, that's your testimony. Now someone's trying to find a way back, not to talk, but to stay close, because they've realized you were never performing. You were teaching and they missed the lesson. Now they're learning it through absence.